Hi everybody, it's me Colton Johnson with Empty Popcorn Bucket Productions, and today I had the wonderful opportunity to go to an early screening for The Long Walk, directed by Francis Lawrence, and this book that it was adapted from was from Stephen King. I honestly didn't know too much going into it besides the fact that it was sort of dystopian. A bunch of kids sign up to walk until the last one standing, and that's kind of all I knew about it. But from the looks of the trailers and seeing David Johnson and Cooper Hoffman being in this movie, I was like, this movie might be pretty good. Also, I really like some of the work that Francis Lawrence has done. He's done some of the Hunger Games movies, and he does really well when it comes to that kind of world building. So, what did I think about this movie? Well, I would have to say this is probably one of the most emotionally impactful films of this entire year. It's heavy, very heavy. There's a lot of intense moments and a lot of moments where I was shook. Like, obviously, with kind of movies that involve some sort of elimination, it's going to be pretty intense and a lot of very heavy moments. I do have to say the performances were stellar. Some of the best performances I've seen all year. Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson knocked it out of the park. Some of the best acting, written scenes that I've seen this year, and it was phenomenal. The cinematography of this film is also breathtaking. It really visualizes this world that you're in, and you're following along on this journey. You wouldn't think that a movie of people just walking across maybe a state would be that impactful, but layer it on with realizing these people are people and they have their own motivations, their own strengths, their own weaknesses, their own reasons to why they want to win. That really makes you care for each one of them, and when certain things happen to some of these characters, it really hits you really hard. And I'm not going to go into spoilers because, I mean, the movie hasn't even come out yet. It comes out in about a week and a half, but I was lucky enough to go to an early screening, and so I wanted to share my review. But I want you guys to go for yourself to kind of develop your own opinion. I thought this was one of the best Stephen King adaptations, and that's coming from someone who probably hasn't, I haven't read a single Stephen King novel, but I've watched a handful of Stephen King movies, and this one was excellent. It was well-paced, well-written, and you really care for these characters and their motivations. One of the most impactful things were two of the main characters, which was Cooper Hoffman's character, which Cooper Hoffman is the son of the late Philip Seymour Hoffman, and there's some moments in this movie that you can see that a lot of the characters' personalities maybe have bled into his own reality. And then we have David Johnson's character. I can't recall what his name is, but he was probably the best character in the movie. His performance was riveting. It was like so amazing. He delivers some of the greatest lines. They're very impactful, and he's sort of like this guide through this movie that helps the main character, which is Cooper Hoffman's character, along the way. And even the other ensemble cast did pretty great. We also had Mark Hamill was the major, and Judy Greer is Cooper Hoffman's mom in the movie. And there's plenty other, I think his name's Ben Wang. He was in the recent Karate Kid, and he's actually going to be in the Hunger Games movie that comes out next year, which is Sunrise on the Reaping. And he did great, and seeing him in this role makes me very excited for his next role in the Hunger Games. This movie has a lot of similarities to Hunger Games, but not similar enough This movie is a lot more grounded, realistic. I don't know. It's just very intense and very strong in emotion. It's one of those movies that, like, I might have to wait a while before jumping back in and seeing it again, because it was so great, but it was also very, very heavy. And it might be very heavy for a lot of people as well. I honestly, thinking about it, it was slow. I would consider it a slow burn, but not in a bad way at all. Like, movies don't have to be fast-paced to be excellent, breathtaking masterpieces. But this movie is very slow, but it's slow in a way that, like, it kind of drags you in, and it takes you on that journey. It's almost like you're there for every mile. It's crazy. When this movie does release, I think it would be fun to do the whole treadmill thing and try to see if I can watch the entire movie while walking on the treadmill. They did some of that for some of the influencer screenings that I've seen on the internet and stuff, so that would be pretty interesting. But overall, my thoughts is that this movie was brilliant, and I would have to give it about a 4.5 out of 5, and maybe after a rewatch I may bump that up a little bit, but it's still currently in my top 10 movies of the year, so that's a good sign. Well, if you've seen this movie, please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts were, or if you're planning to see it, let me know, and stay tuned for other stuff. I should have my next Harry Potter video out either this weekend or sometime next week, so stay tuned for that. Oh, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Check me out on TikTok, Letterboxd, and Instagram. Links in the description below, and have a wonderful day. Bye!